Yeah, you've been disrespected, overlooked, and made to feel small. You walk into a room and no one even notices. You speak and they interrupt, as if your words don't matter. You feel it deep inside, the burning frustration, that question clawing at your mind. Why don't they respect me? The truth is, no one is going to hand you respect. You have to demand it unapologetically. This isn't a video for the weak. This is for men who are tired of being invisible and want to rise above. Are you ready to learn how to become the kind of man that commands respect without asking for it? If so, stick with me. By the end of this video, you'll never see yourself or the world the same way again. Respect isn't something you wait for, hope for, or beg for. It's something you command. And here's the hard truth. The world doesn't care about your feelings. Society has trained you to believe that being nice and agreeable will earn you respect. But it won't. It's a lie designed to keep you soft. Men who command respect don't rely on the approval of others. They take it. In this video, we're diving deep into 10 powerful principles that will change how you carry yourself forever. This isn't about tricks or hacks. This is about becoming the kind of man who cannot be ignored. Comment, "I'm in" below if you're ready to watch this to the end, because what you're about to learn will make you unshakable. Let's begin. Number 1. Own the room. When you walk into a room, the way you carry yourself is louder than anything you could ever say. Most people don't realize this, but the moment you enter a space, you've already made an impression. Your posture, your energy, your movements, they all tell a story. What story are you telling right now? Are you walking like someone who blends into the background, unnoticed and unimportant? Or are you moving like someone who owns their space, someone who commands attention just by being there? It hurts to admit, but most people are telling the wrong story. They shrink themselves, hunch over, look down, and avoid eye contact because they've been conditioned to believe they don't belong. But you're different. You don't have to live that way. The secret to owning the room isn't about arrogance or being loud. It's about presence. It's about how you take up space, both physically and energetically. Stand tall, roll your shoulders back, and walk with deliberate purpose. Don't rush. Don't fidget. Move like you have nothing to prove because you don't. You belong there just as much as anyone else, and your presence alone should make that clear. But here's the truth most people won't tell you. The world will judge you instantly, often unfairly. That's reality. Your job is to make sure their judgment works in your favor. Carry yourself like you're already respected, even if you're not yet. That energy becomes undeniable. Picture this. Someone enters a room full of people. They don't make any noise, but every head turns. It's not their clothes or their face, it's their energy. They exude confidence. They move like they own the air around them. That's what you need to cultivate. Start practicing it today, even if it feels awkward at first. Fake it until it becomes second nature. Confidence isn't about how you feel, it's about how you act. Act like the most confident person in the room, and eventually you'll become that person. Remember, respect starts before you even open your mouth. Number 2. Speak with precision. The way you talk shapes how people perceive you, and let's not sugarcoat it. Most people speak like they're afraid of being heard. They mumble, ramble, or fill their sentences with fluff, hoping someone will validate them. That's a recipe for being dismissed. Every word you speak should carry weight. People don't respect noise, they respect clarity. Are you the kind of person who speaks with authority, or are you just another voice blending into the crowd? The answer lies in how you use your words. When you talk, strip your language of anything unnecessary. Weak phrases like "I think," "maybe," or "just" dilute your message. Replace them with strong, definitive statements. If you believe something, say it like you believe it. Stop trying to soften your words to avoid offending people. Respect comes from strength, not from trying to please everyone. For instance, if someone asks for your opinion, don't say, "I think this could be a good idea." Say, "This is a good idea, and here's why." Do you see the difference? One sounds uncertain, the other commands respect. Precision is power, but precision isn't just about what you say, it's also about how you say it. Your tone matters just as much as your words. Speak slowly and deliberately, like every word deserves to be heard. Don't rush through your sentences out of fear of being interrupted. Pause when necessary. Let silence emphasize your points. Silence, when used correctly, is one of the most powerful tools you have. It forces people to listen and shows that you're in control. Here's something to think about. The most respected people in the world rarely talk a lot, but when they do, everyone listens. Why? Because they've mastered the art of speaking with precision. They don't waste words. They don't explain themselves unnecessarily. They don't try to fill the air with meaningless chatter. They say exactly what needs to be said and then stop. That's what you need to aim for. Practice this in every conversation. The next time someone asks you a question, pause for a moment before answering. Think about what you want to say and then say it with conviction. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room to be the most respected. In fact, the quieter you are, the more people will lean in to hear you if what you say is worth hearing. Speaking with precision also means knowing when not to speak. Some battles aren't worth fighting, and some words are better left unsaid. There's strength in restraint. If someone disrespects you or tries to provoke you, don't react emotionally. Instead, pause, look them directly in the eye, and let your silence do the talking. That calm, composed energy is far more intimidating than any angry outburst. It tells people that you're in control, that their words can't shake you. And let's not forget about the power of storytelling. People are hardwired to respond to stories. If you want to make a point, weave it into a narrative. Don't just list facts, paint a picture. For instance, instead of saying confidence is important, say, imagine walking into a room and every head turns because they can feel your presence. That's what confidence does. Stories resonate because they make people feel something. They make your message stick. To speak with precision, you also need to listen with intention. Most people don't really listen. They're just waiting for their turn to talk. But when you truly listen, you gain an advantage. You understand what people want, what they fear, and what drives them. Use that knowledge to shape your words. Speak to their desires, their insecurities, their aspirations. Make them feel understood, and they'll hang on to every word you say. Remember, speaking with precision isn't about being perfect. It's about being intentional. Every word, every pause, every tone of your voice should serve a purpose. If you master this, you'll find that people not only listen to you, they respect you. They'll look to you for guidance, for clarity, for strength. And that's how you become someone who commands respect without even trying. Number 3, draw the line. Disrespect doesn't happen all at once. It starts small. A sarcastic comment, an interrupting voice, a dismissive glance. It grows because you allow it to. Most people think ignoring disrespect will make it go away, but it doesn't. It festers. It teaches others that your boundaries are weak, that you're someone they can push around. And it hurts, doesn't it? It hurts because deep down, you know you deserve better. You know you're worth more than being someone else's doormat. But here's the truth. The only person who can teach them that is you. Setting boundaries isn't about shouting or making a scene. It's about standing firm, calmly and confidently in the face of disrespect. Imagine someone cuts you off mid-sentence, trying to undermine your point. Most people would shrink back, let the moment pass, or try to laugh it off, but not you. You stop, look them in the eye and say, "I wasn't finished." Do you feel the power in those 3 words? It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. Controlled, steady, like someone who knows their worth. You don't need to raise your voice. Your firmness says everything they need to know. This person cannot be dismissed. But boundaries aren't just about reacting to disrespect. They're about preventing it. When you walk into a space, whether it's a workplace, a social gathering, or even your own home, you set the tone. You communicate through your actions and demeanor what you will and won't tolerate. People learn your boundaries not by what you say, but by how you live. When you carry yourself with confidence, when you enforce your own standards, people take notice. They adjust their behavior because they know you won't bend. Here's something most won't tell you. Setting boundaries will make people uncomfortable. Some will challenge you, test your limits, even criticize you. That's their problem, not yours. Boundaries aren't for them, they're for you. They're your way of protecting your energy, your peace, your self-respect. Anyone who truly values you will respect them. Those who don't, let them go. Because the truth is, no one who truly respects you will ever expect you to sacrifice your boundaries for their comfort. Number 4, control your reactions. Life is full of provocations. People will insult you, challenge you, and test your patience. They'll push your buttons, hoping to see you lose control. Why? Because a reactive person is a weak person. When you react impulsively, whether it's through anger, frustration, or defensiveness, you hand over your power. You let them dictate how you feel, how you act, and who you are in that moment. But you're not like most people. You don't give away your power, you control it. Imagine this: someone throws an insult your way in front of a group. They smirk, waiting for you to snap, to lash out, to embarrass yourself. But you don't. Instead, you pause. You lock eyes with them, your face calm, your body steady. You don't need to respond because their words mean nothing to you. That silence, that composed energy, is more powerful than any comeback. It makes them uncomfortable, exposes their insecurity, and shows everyone watching that you're not easily shaken. But controlling your reactions isn't just about silence. It's about choosing your response. Let's say someone criticizes you unfairly. Instead of getting defensive, you say, "Thank you for your feedback." Your tone is calm, your expression neutral. What can they say to that? They were expecting a fight, and instead you gave them composure. That's power, that's control, and it's something most people will never master because they're too ruled by their emotions. Emotional control isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about mastering them. When you're angry, frustrated, or hurt, you acknowledge those emotions, but you don't let them dictate your actions. You channel them into something productive. You take that energy and use it to fuel your focus, your discipline, your goals. Imagine how unstoppable you'd be if nothing could provoke you, if every attempt to undermine you only made you stronger. Start practicing this today. The next time someone tries to push your buttons, pause, take a breath, and remind yourself that your reaction is a choice, not a reflex. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. And over time, you'll find that people stop trying to provoke you because they know it's a waste of time. They know you're in control. Number 5, demand respect through actions, not words. Respect is not something you ask for. It's not something you beg for, plead for, or argue for. Respect is earned. It's demanded. Not through what you say, but through what you do. Words are cheap. Actions are everything. Think about the people you respect the most. Is it because of what they've said, or is it because of how they've lived? Chances are it's the latter. They've shown you through their consistency, their discipline, and their integrity that they're worthy of respect. And if you want to be respected, you need to do the same. Imagine showing up to work late every day, making excuses for your missed deadlines, and then wondering why no one takes you seriously. It's because your actions are telling them you're unreliable, undisciplined, and unworthy of respect. Now imagine the opposite. You're the first one in, the last one out. You keep your promises even when it's inconvenient. You go the extra mile not for recognition, but because that's who you are. People notice. They may not say it, but they see it. They respect it. Because respect isn't about being liked. It's about being dependable. But actions aren't just about work. They're about how you live your entire life. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you disciplined in your habits, your goals, your relationships? Are you living in alignment with your values, or are you compromising them for convenience? Every decision you make, every action you take, sends a message to the world about who you are. And if you want to command respect, that message needs to be clear, consistent, and uncompromising. Here's the truth. Earning respect through actions isn't easy. It requires discipline, sacrifice, and a relentless commitment to your own standards. But that's what makes it so powerful. When you live with integrity, when you hold yourself to a higher standard, people can't help but respect you. Even your critics, your doubters, and your enemies. They may not like you, but they'll respect you because deep down, they know they could never do what you do. Start today. Look at your life and ask yourself, what are my actions saying about me? Are they telling the world I'm worthy of respect, or are they sending a different message? Be honest. And if the answer isn't what you want it to be, change it. Take responsibility for your actions, your choices, your life. Show the world who you are, not through your words, but through the way you live. Number 6, dress like you mean it. You're being judged before you open your mouth. That's the cold, harsh truth no one wants to admit. People size you up based on how you look, and they decide within seconds whether you're someone to respect or dismiss. It might not feel fair, but life isn't about fairness. It's about strategy. And your appearance is your first weapon in the war for respect. The way you dress tells the world what you think of yourself. It screams your level of self-respect, your discipline and your standards, without you having to say a word. So, what's your outfit saying right now? Is it shouting confidence and self-worth, or is it mumbling excuses and apathy? Most people underestimate the power of clothing. They think it's superficial, something shallow that people care about. But it's not about the brand or the price tag. It's about what your clothes say about your mindset. Are they clean, well-fitted and intentional, or are they sloppy, outdated and thrown together without a thought? Because that difference is everything. When you wear clothes that fit you well, that make you feel sharp, you're telling the world, I'm someone who cares, I'm someone worth noticing, and more importantly, you're telling yourself the same thing. Think about it. When you put on an outfit that makes you feel strong, doesn't it change the way you walk, the way you carry yourself? It's not vanity, it's psychology. Your brain starts believing what your reflection tells it. If you look like someone who demands respect, you'll start acting like someone who deserves it. And when you act that way, people can't help but respond. But dressing with intention isn't about trends or copying what everyone else is wearing. It's about understanding your own style and owning it. Look at yourself in the mirror. Do your clothes reflect who you are and who you want to be? If they don't, it's time to change them. Start simple. Get rid of anything that doesn't fit you, anything that looks worn out or cheap. Replace it with pieces that feel like power, pieces that make you stand taller and walk more confidently. Here's where most people go wrong. They think dressing well is about impressing others. It's not. It's about respecting yourself. It's about waking up every day and saying, I'm going to show up as the best version of myself, no matter what. That mindset is contagious. People notice when you respect yourself because it forces them to respect you too. And let's be clear, this isn't about wearing a suit and tie everywhere you go. It's about appropriateness and self-awareness. If you're at the gym, your workout clothes should still look intentional and clean. If you're at a casual event, your casual wear should still make a statement. The point isn't to be overdressed, it's to be intentional. Every outfit should say, "I thought about this because I think about myself." Number 7, eliminate weak language. Your words are shaping your destiny, whether you realize it or not. Every sentence you speak is either building you up or tearing you down. Weak language isn't just harmless filler, it's poison. It seeps into your mindset, your confidence, your presence, and it tells the world you're not sure of yourself. And once the world hears that uncertainty, it will reflect it back to you tenfold. The way you talk is one of the most critical indicators of your strength. So, what's your language saying about you? Words like sorry, just, maybe, and I think are killers of respect. They chip away at your authority, one sentence at a time. When you say, "Sorry to bother you," what you're really saying is, "I don't believe I'm worth your time." When you say, "I just wanted to ask," you're shrinking yourself, making your presence smaller, less impactful. And when you say, "I think this is a good idea," you're planting seeds of doubt in the listener's mind. Stop it. You don't need to apologize for existing. You don't need to justify your opinions with qualifiers. You don't need to soften your presence to make others feel comfortable. But eliminating weak language isn't just about avoiding certain words. It's about replacing them with stronger ones. Instead of saying, "Sorry to bother you," say, "Do you have a moment?" Instead of saying, "I just wanted to ask," say, "I need your input." Instead of saying, "I think this is a good idea," say, "This is the best approach." Do you feel the difference? The latter versions are direct, confident, and unapologetic. They command attention because they come from a place of strength, and it's not just about the words you use, it's about how you use them. Speak slower, pause when necessary. Let your words land with weight and intention. Most people rush through their sentences, afraid of silence, afraid of being interrupted. Don't be like most people. Silence is your ally. It forces people to listen. It gives your words more power. When you speak, every word should matter. Every sentence should serve a purpose. Here's another trap to avoid: over-explaining. Weak people feel the need to justify everything they say. They ramble, piling on unnecessary details in a desperate attempt to be understood. But strong people trust their words to speak for themselves. They say what they mean, and they leave it at that. If someone doesn't understand or agree, that's their problem, not yours. Eliminating weak language also means being mindful of your tone. Are you speaking with confidence, or does your voice waver with hesitation? Are you ending your sentences like statements, or are they coming out as questions? Stop letting your voice betray you. Speak like you believe in what you're saying, because if you don't believe it, no one else will. Start practicing this today. The next time you catch yourself using weak language, stop mid-sentence if you have to. Correct yourself. Say it again, but this time with strength. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first because you're rewiring years of bad habits. But over time, it'll become second nature, and when it does, you'll notice a shift. People will start listening to you differently. They'll start responding to you differently. They'll start respecting you, not because of what you're saying, but because of how you're saying it. And here's the best part. As you eliminate weak language from your vocabulary, you'll start eliminating it from your mindset too. You'll stop doubting yourself, second-guessing yourself, and apologizing for yourself. You'll start seeing yourself for what you truly are, someone worthy of respect, someone who doesn't need to ask for permission to exist, someone who commands attention and admiration just by being. Number 8. Learn when to walk away. Staying in the wrong fight will drain your energy, rob you of your dignity, and waste your time. The truth is, not every battle is worth fighting, and not every person deserves your attention. Most people don't understand this. They argue to prove a point, to feed their ego, to win a fleeting moment of validation. But winning the wrong battle is no victory. It's a distraction from the wars that truly matter. Walking away isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's knowing that your energy is finite and choosing to spend it where it truly counts. Imagine someone trying to bait you into an argument. They're loud, emotional, and relentless, throwing insults or nitpicking every word you say. The average person would get sucked in, desperate to defend themselves, to explain, to justify. But you stand firm. You don't flinch. You don't get drawn into their chaos. Instead, you calmly say, "This conversation is over," and walk away. That silence, that steady exit, is far more powerful than any heated comeback. It says, "I'm above this. You're not worth my time." Walking away doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're prioritizing yourself. It means you value your peace more than someone else's noise. It hurts though, doesn't it? To realize how much time you've wasted arguing with people who were never going to understand you, never going to respect you, never going to change. But you're different. You're learning to let go. You're learning that your time and energy are sacred, and you're learning that walking away is sometimes the greatest act of strength you can show. But walking away isn't just about arguments. It's about every area of your life. Are you holding on to relationships that drain you, jobs that undervalue you, habits that undermine you? Let them go. Walking away isn't failure, it's freedom. It's saying, "I deserve better than this." And when you say that, not just with your words, but with your actions, the world starts to listen. The right people, the right opportunities, the right outcomes, they come to those who know their worth and refuse to settle for less. Number 9, be uncompromising about your standards. Standards are the lines you draw that define who you are and what you stand for. They're not negotiable, they're not flexible, they're the foundation of your identity, and without them, you crumble. But here's the problem. Society presses you to lower your standards, to bend, to conform, to fit in. Most people give in because they're afraid of being alone, of being different, of being judged. But lowering your standards doesn't make you relatable. It makes you invisible. It makes you forgettable. It makes you weak. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to stand out. When you set high standards, people will challenge you. They'll call you difficult, arrogant, unapproachable. They'll try to make you feel guilty for refusing to settle. But their discomfort is not your concern. High standards make people uncomfortable because they highlight their own mediocrity. That's not your problem. Your standards are not a weapon to hurt others. They're a shield to protect yourself. They ensure that only the best people, the best opportunities, and the best outcomes enter your life. But standards aren't just about what you demand from others. They're about what you demand from yourself. Are you living up to the expectations you set for others? Are you walking the talk? Because if you're not holding yourself accountable, your standards are meaningless. Start with yourself. Set the bar high in everything you do, from the way you work, to the way you treat others, to the way you treat yourself. People will notice, they'll respect it, and yes, some will fear it, but that fear isn't your burden to carry. Being uncompromising about your standards also means being willing to walk away from anything that doesn't meet them. Relationships, jobs, habits. If they don't align with your values, they have no place in your life. It's not easy. It's not comfortable, but it's necessary. Because every time you lower your standards, you're sending a message to yourself and the world. I don't believe I deserve better. And that's a lie you can't afford to live with. Number 10. Dominate your own mind. The greatest battle you'll ever face isn't with the world, it's with yourself. The mind is a battlefield, and every day you're at war. Doubt, fear, insecurity, they're the enemies that live inside your head, and if you don't learn to conquer them, they will conquer you. Most people don't even realize this. They go through life as prisoners of their own minds, controlled by thoughts they don't even question. But you're not like most people. You're here because you're ready to take control. Mastering your mind starts with awareness. What are you telling yourself every day? Are your thoughts building you up, or are they tearing you down? Are they pushing you forward, or are they holding you back? If your mind is filled with negativity, it's time to clean house. Replace every limiting belief with a powerful one. Replace every excuse with a solution. Replace every doubt with determination. This isn't about positive thinking. It's about truthful thinking. It's about telling yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, I am in control. But mindset isn't just about thoughts. It's about actions. Are you living in alignment with the person you want to become? If not, why? The mind follows the body, and the body follows the mind. When you take disciplined action, your mind starts to believe in your strength. When you wake up early, push through discomfort, and do the hard things no one else is willing to do, you're proving to yourself that you're unstoppable. And that belief becomes unshakable. The mind is also where discipline is forged. Discipline isn't about motivation, it's about mastery. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is eternal. It's doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. It's saying, I will not let my feelings dictate my actions. And when you live with that level of discipline, your mind becomes your greatest ally instead of your greatest enemy. But dominating your mind isn't a one-time achievement. It's a daily practice. Every morning, ask yourself, who do I want to be today? And then act accordingly. Every time doubt creeps in, confront it. Every time fear tries to control you, face it. Every time insecurity whispers in your ear, silence it. You are not your thoughts. You are the master of your thoughts. And when you realize that, nothing can stop you. Respect isn't given. It's not begged for. It's commanded. If you apply these 10 principles, you won't just earn respect, you'll demand it unapologetically. If you're ready to take control of your life and command the respect you deserve, hit the like button and subscribe for more unapologetic truths. Remember, respect starts with you. Don't wait for anyone to give it to you.